ladies and gentlemen, to the 500th episode of Reaction and Review. Before I go a step further, I want to give a very special thank you to Ghost of April for letting me use that song in this episode's intro. You guys are fucking amazing. If you guys have not heard of Ghost of April, I'm going to provide a link to the band's webpage. Please swing over there. Listen to what they have. Buy their albums. They have some fantastic fucking music. I love everything I've heard from them, and Breathe is probably one of my favorite songs from them. Now, tonight we celebrate a milestone. Tonight we celebrate 500 episodes of Reaction and Review, and tonight the 500th movie. 500th movie I've covered for this series. Came out in 2008. It is a Japanese film called The Machine Girl. Now, I don't know much about this. I didn't even bother to find a trailer, guys. The only thing I know about this movie is it's from the same cabal of Japanese filmmakers who worked on things such as Frankenstein Girl, or Dracula Girl versus Frankenstein Girl, and Robo Geisha, and Tokyo Gore Police. So at least I know the style of film I'm getting into. However, out of those three films I listed, the only one I really had a lot of fun with was Tokyo Gore Police. So, not sure if the movie's going to be any good. I really wish that I knew anything else beyond that. I really do. Unfortunately, I do not. And usually, guys, I've noticed that reaction and reviews are oftentimes best if I go in almost completely blind. So the very fact that I know that it's Japanese, and it's a little bit more fucked up even by Japanese standards, because, you know, previous films I mentioned, this could prove to be a fun movie. I have no idea. The only way I'm going to find out, though, guys, is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out The Machine Girl. Alright, guys, I'm gonna say this right now. I am absolutely loving the cheesy fucking, like, 70s action film vibe the opening friggin' credits are giving. It really is helping this movie just sort of set a really awesome tone. I should also mention that so far, almost all of the gore effects have been fucking amazing. I really hope the movie's able to maintain this level of awesome for the next 90 minutes. I really fucking do. Well, guys, I am going to say this much right now. So far, this movie's building up to be a really well done, and I mean amazingly well done, revenge film. And I'm absolutely digging that. I've always had a soft spot for revenge films. So, I'm really interested to see exactly where this thing is heading. Okay, so I have learned something very important today. If you cut off somebody's head, you can carry around the body and use it almost like a super soaker. That's awesome! If I ever happen to go on a murderous spree, I'm probably going to have to remember to fucking do that. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. You know, guys, I'm going to say this right now. I'm loving everything about this movie. I'm loving the story. I'm loving the pacing. I'm loving the special effects. I'm even loving the English fucking dub. The English dub of this thing is just adding an extra layer of cheese to this film, which already feels like a colossal love letter to both 80s action films and 70s revenge films. I am absolutely adoring every second of this movie, guys. Wait a second. Are those ninjas in tracksuits? I just noticed that the two ninjas here are wearing fucking tracksuits, man. Like, tracksuits and pretty much just, like, ski masks. That is the most ghetto ninja costume I think I've ever fucking seen. It's actually kind of fucking cool. though. I mean, I am really digging the ultra ghetto, ninjas are ultra rich Yakuza villains hired here. It's just fucking awesome. Okay, I have to ask a serious question. So, our villains, this fucking family, the motherfucking Kimura family, are supposed to be loaded, right? They are supposed to be like rich as shit. Why is it that every time that they kit out their warriors with shit, it's the cheapest, most ghetto thing possible? We had the ninjas wearing the fucking track suits, and now we have the families of their son's fallen friends wearing football pads and BMX helmets. You'd think he would have the money to get better armor. And it honestly, guys, just makes this whole thing so lovably cheesy. And apparently football pads are bulletproof. I would never have guessed that. Well, guys, that was the Machine Girl. Let me shut that off. Wow! That was not what I had expected. I guess, guys, I've been kind of sort of jaded by some of these weird Japanese films. And after sitting through Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl and that one kind of sucking, and sitting through Robo Geisha and that one really sucking, I was kind of sort of afraid I was on a bit of a downhill slope. And I didn't think anything was going to match the sheer badass awesome I saw when I watched Tokyo Gore Police. This sucker almost matched that. It really did. Holy shit. God, how the fuck to even sum up this movie? Okay, imagine for just a minute. And I know this is going to sound weird, but just play along, please, for just a moment. Imagine a 1970s revenge film crossed with an 80s action film crossed with an ultra-gory trauma film, all pushed through a very odd Japanese filter. You do that and you get the Machine Girl. And god damn it, it works. I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna tell you guys though right now that I just listed a bunch of shit that I personally have a soft spot for. I love cheesy 80s action films. I love cheesy 70s revenge films. I love trauma movies. So if you take all three of those and throw them all in a fucking blender and then pour it all through a distinctly Japanese filter of weird, I'm probably going to love it. Case in point, this thing was amazing. And really, I just sort of guess that what makes it sort of fall under the 80s action thing is, as you can see on the cover, our titular Machine Girl, Ami, she spends most of the film with she actually spends like most of the second half of the film, because she doesn't lose the arm until about the halfway point. But she spends most of the second half with a Gatling gun arm. And it's that kind of big shit fucking go bang crap that normally was seen in 80s action films. Otherwise, guys, this thing plays out like plays kind of like a love letter to 70s revenge films where somebody has lost a family member or someone, and they are out for bloody awful vengeance. I do know that there were tons of revenge style films in the 80s as well. But this thing here had far more a feel of the 70s revenge film than it did the 80s revenge film. There actually is a slight stylistic difference between the two decades. It honestly isn't even something that you can really openly and verbally describe. It's just, if you see a 70s revenge film and an 80s revenge film, you can tell the difference. This thing here was shooting for the feel of a 70s revenge film mixed with 80s action and trauma style gore, and it works. I absolutely loved it. I loved our main character. I really did love Ami, as she was just ripping through whole hosts of dickheads who all in one way or another were either tied into her brother's death or are working for people whose actions tied into her brother's death. It's all just amazing shit. And you follow her quest as she finds out about her brother's death, and then she begins her conquest of vengeance, racks up a very small body count, then opts to fuck with our main villains, and then they take her fucking arm, and then she flees. And she gets kitted out with her fucking Gatling gun arm, which is made out of car parts. That is just all by itself fucking awesome. And then she teams up with the mother of her brother's friend, who was also killed, to basically kill our villainous family of fucking Yakuza. And the whole thing, guys, it just plays out so well, and the pacing is beautiful. You are going to be fully fucking invested this entire film. There is not a moment of downtime from the moment that Ami's brother and his friend go fucking hurtling out of that parking fucking garage. From that moment all the way up until the closing credits, the movie never slows down. It just keeps on going, and it's just straight up full-blown action. It is just action, gore, weird fun for probably a good hour or so, and it's fucking marvelous. Our characters are not totally, fleshed out. However, though, once more, I do have to stress that if you are going to take a 70s style if you're going to take the style of a 70s revenge film, an 80s action film, and a trauma movie, nobody's asking you to have deep fucking characters. It is nothing short of a miracle I even know the name of our title fucking character. It is nothing short of a miracle that I actually know Ami by name, because you should not care about the names of any of these characters. You basically know, well, these two over here are good and everybody else is evil and all of them must fucking die. That basically is what your mindset should be as you're going through. And so our characters are not ultra developed. Our characters are not incredibly deep, and you're not here for deep characters. You're not here for any of that. You are here essentially to watch fucking shit die in the most creative ways possible. And my God, this movie does that amazingly. Now, writing is definitely on the cheesy end, so I do have to warn, if you're not a fan of corny ass movies, like cheesy fucking B movies, then this probably is not for this probably is not going to be a movie for you. I can almost guarantee that you have to be into these sorts of films in order to like what is here. And if it's not your kind of thing, then you are going to be completely lost, and you're not going to give you're not going to give one fucking damn about what's going on in this film. You are probably going to hate it if this is not your kind of movie. You have been warned. Now, acting. I decided to watch this thing with the English dub because I sometimes like to see exactly how the dubs are done for these. And I'm going to tell you, with everything I've talked about in terms of this film's style, our English dub actors opted to play all of that up. So the acting is the kind of cornball shit you heard in 80s action flicks and 70s revenge flicks. So it's not great, it's not perfect. A lot of people are really hamming it up. And a lot of these are well-known established English voice actors. So they almost had to have been told to ham it up like this in order to fit the style of the film, and god damn it works so well. This guy's is one of those instances where would almost have to say that you might, that in all seriousness, the dub is probably better than watching it subtitled, because the dub helps add just like one extra layer of just cheesy awesome to this whole thing. So yeah, our acting, at least in the dub, is amazingly corny. I loved what everybody did here, and acting was fantastic. Fantastic, at least once more, for the general style of the film. I do have to stress that. Special effects. Here is where we get to talk, guys, about a lot of shit, and I'm going to tell you right now, damn near all of it is positive. One thing I have commented on in the past that has always irritated the shit out of me is CG blood. Any film that insists on using digital blood, or and all of that kind of shit, is normally a turnoff for me. I'm going to tell you right now, as far as I could tell, there was only one shot that used digital blood. Thankfully, it was, first of all, a very brief shot, and two, it then led to a practical effect. And my God, it was an amazing practical effect. I'm going to tell you guys right now, and this is something that some people know because they've been watching my series for years, I love practical special effects, especially when we're talking about blood and gore. If you honestly can do it on set, you are fucking golden. And this movie absolutely excels at on-set gore. We have very little in terms of like CG kills. We have very little in terms of like chroma key stuff. There actually is a couple of shots where you will see somebody standing and they're very clearly in front of a green screen, because there's this big dark line around them. Specifically so they can digitally like shoot off chunks of their face, and it looks kind of shitty. But once more, it's only like a 3-second shot compared to the mountain of practical effects which this movie throws at you, which is everything from flayed off skin and just high pressure blood everywhere. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if anything is fucking cut, it is going to gush a fucking blood fountain, and it looks amazing. And perhaps maybe it's just my love of really goofy, almost fucking like cartoonish gore. I love when people utilize the high fucking pressure blood trope. When someone basically like loses, like a thumb, and it just sprays straight up. It looks so awesome. And when you see that every single time a character loses a head, or when they're fucking cut in half, whether it be cut in half this way or cut in half this way, you actually will see both of those in this movie. And there's just blood spraying everywhere. Guys, there is so much spraying blood in this film. You will quite often see it as it starts fucking speckling the lens on the fucking camera, which oftentimes could be seen as a negative. But once more, thanks honestly to the general style of this film, and the fact that it's very obvious that it's trying to be as corny and as cheesy as possible, that honestly just sort of helps it more. It just sort of helps that, it actually kind of helps that the blood is like smearing all over the camera lens, or that some of the practical effects are painfully cheesy. I mentioned that you see one person cut in half this way, another person is cut in half this way. The one who is cut fucking lengthwise, as they are being cut, it is painfully obvious that the body that is being cut is made out of plastic, a very, very rubbery, wrinkly. Actually, it's not even like a plastic. It actually is almost more like a foam fucking rubber kind of thing, akin maybe almost to fucking Nerf. And when the body falls, you can see that it is this very loose, wrinkly thing that looks sort of like a human body. and you are not going to care because it looked so cool, especially when the body's standing up. Both halves are just kind of sort of like flopping outward, and they're both kind of sort of wiggling a little bit before the body falls. It looks amazing. The very fact that you will see a lot of shots where people are losing their heads or like body parts are flying off, and you can almost see the fishing line that's holding on to those plastic parts as they're just ripping them off of these torsos. It looks amazing. It looks just, well, correction, it doesn't look fucking amazing. It looks fucking amazingly cheesy. And it helps, once more, with the general style of the film. I cannot stress that enough. If you love cheesy fucking gore films, especially when they give you mountains and mountains of blood and body parts, and it just looks goofy as shit, then you are going to adore most of this movie. The special effects are done that fucking well. Our score. This also, I think, is sort of what led me to say that this is more that this thing is more trying to emulate a 70s revenge film, is the score. This thing sounds almost painfully 70s. Almost painfully 70s mixed with like a general Japanese sound. And considering the fact that this movie was made in 2008, that had to be a stylistic choice. And goddamn it, it's a great stylistic choice. It fucking works. In fact, actually, the music which is used here, it actually sounds less fucking like something that would have come out of a general revenge film of the 70s. It sounds a touch more like it came out of a blaxploitation film from the 70s, which makes it even fucking better, man. Just this thing here is just a beautiful, perfect fucking storm of just various fucking homages to shit from the 70s and the 80s, and it works so well. It works so magnificently fucking well. Our sound mix here is really good. Once more, I'm talking about the English, dub. The sound mix is amazing there. Ultimately, guys, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend Machine Girl? Fuck yes, I totally can. I have not felt this great about a cheesy Japanese gore film since I watched Tokyo Gore Police damn near 5 years ago. I loved this thing. This movie was amazing, and god damn it, I'm so happy this thing was episode 500. I'm so happy that this was the subject for episode 500. It feels so great to watch a movie that was just this amazingly fun for my 500th episode. That is so amazing. Yes, guys, if you can find a copy of this somewhere, by all means, check it out. If you can find it on Netflix, watch it there. If you can find it on YouTube, go ahead and watch it. If you can find the fucking DVD somewhere, if you can find the Blu-ray somewhere, rent it, buy it, I do not care. You need to see this thing. It is just such a beautifully cheesy flick, and I loved every single frame of it. Now, the Machine Girl came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in was Robert. Robert has sent in a lot of stuff for this series. I've probably done at least, I'm just gonna take a wild estimate here because I'm not sure, probably a good 30 episodes or so, are all thanks to Robert sending in stuff. And Robert, I cannot thank you enough. The very fact that not only have you sent in so many films, but one of those films that you sent in, one I've been sitting on for probably about 3 years. I'm really sorry it took that long for me to cover this. But it was picked for episode 500. That feels even better. Please, guys, swing on over to Robert's profile over on Amazon.com. Go check out everything that he has written there. Robert, again, I cannot thank you enough, dude. You are fucking amazing, and I love you to fucking death, buddy. So, 500 episodes. I understand, guys, that I just did something like this, when I was celebrating the 5th anniversary of Reaction and Review, but it does have to be said once more. I have always had nothing but the utmost respect for you guys. I love the fact that I'm able to come out here and I'm able to make these videos and I'm able to entertain you guys day in and day out, week after week after week. It has been 5 awesome years. It has been 500 fantastic episodes. And God damn it, I want to thank you guys. It is such a fucking honor coming out here and doing my thing for you guys each and every week. It is so much fun. And I've said it many times in the past, and I'm going to say it one more time. You guys are the best fan base any human being could ever ask for. And I wouldn't trade you guys for anything on fucking earth. I love every single one of you. And hopefully we will all be here. We will all be here for another 500 episodes. I really do hope so. And if I could sit here and give special thanks to the people who have helped make this series what it is, I'm going to tell you guys, I would be here for a long time because I'm sitting at almost 17,000 subs. I would have to list off every single one of them because every one of those people, as well as every person who has watched me and left, every person who's watched even just one video and did not like what I did, every single one of you guys are the reason why I'm here. And you guys are all why this series is still going 500 episodes later. And god damn it. Guys, I'm starting to fucking like tear up here. This actually is kind of sort of a fucking emotional thing. Just give me a moment. I am so happy that I've been able to do this for so long, be able to do so many episodes, and it's all thanks to you guys. And if I could do anything to thank all of you personally, I totally would. You guys are, oh God, I just have to say it again. You guys are the best fans any human being could ever ask for. And I feel so honored to have you guys watching day in and day out, and that makes me feel fucking great, guys. I have not felt this fucking good about me. I have not felt this good about myself in a long, long time. You guys, fucking amazing. Now I'm gonna go try to celebrate a little bit, because holy shit, man, 500 episodes. I never fucking thought, man, I'd get to 500 episodes, and it feels so goddamn good. I think I'm just going to go and find some of the best movies I've covered in this series. I'm going to go and give those a watch. So, yeah, I'm going to go have myself a lot of fun, guys. That is going to do it for the 500th episode of Reaction and Review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.